Asterisk welcome back to Kindness Stories, where real kindness inspires real change. If you're new here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that could warm your heart or change your day. Asterisk it was the last week of April when Emily moved into the small town of Brookville. Everything about her life had just been turned upside down. Her dad had lost his job due to sudden layoffs at the manufacturing plant in their old town. Her mom, who had been battling health issues, needed a calmer place to recover, so the family packed up what little they had left and moved into her grandmother's tiny, weather-beaten house at the edge of a sleepy neighborhood. Asterisk Emily was used to change. Being the daughter of a military veteran, she'd moved plenty of times growing up, but this time felt different. She wasn't 10 anymore, dragging stuffed animals from one room to another. She was 15 now, and this change came with a weight that she couldn't explain to anyone. It wasn't just about a new school, new people, or another chance to start over. It was about hiding how much she missed the life she used to have. Asterisk her first day at Brookville High was uneventful at first. The hallways were wide and worn down, lockers dented with years of careless shoves. Her homeroom teacher, Mr. Daniels, was kind but distracted, his voice dry as he introduced her to the class. Asterisk, this is Emily Carter. She's just moved here. Please make her feel welcome, he said before moving on to the morning announcements. Asterisk as Emily scanned the room, she caught the gaze of a few students. Some smiled politely, others whispered behind their hands. A boy with messy hair in the corner looked up and then quickly looked down, pretending to be interested in his textbook. A girl near the front with brightly colored nails gave Emily a quick nod, one eyebrow raised as if appraising her outfit. Asterisk Emily took a seat in the back, near the window. It was safer that way. Asterisk the first few days passed in a blur. No one was cruel, but no one was particularly kind either. She wasn't invited to join any groups during lunch. The few times she tried starting conversations, they ended in awkward silence. She kept her head down, did her work, and waited for the bell to ring. Asterisk it was during the second week that she met Jonah. Asterisk it happened in the library. Emily had developed the habit of spending her lunch breaks there, surrounded by the comforting smell of old books and the quiet hum of the air conditioner. She was tucked in the back, flipping through a poetry anthology, when a soft voice spoke beside her. Asterisk, hey, you like poetry? Asterisk Emily looked up, startled. A boy with dark curls and a backpack covered in hand-drawn patches stood beside her. He wasn't smiling exactly, but there was something open in his expression. Asterisk, yeah, she replied cautiously. Sort of. It's peaceful. Asterisk he nodded, looking down at the book in her hands. That one's got some good stuff. Pablo Neruda's in there. He's intense, but kind of beautiful. Asterisk she blinked, surprised. You read poetry? Asterisk sometimes. Mostly lyrics, but they count, right? Asterisk that made her smile. Sure, they count. Asterisk from that moment on, they started sitting together in the library, slowly, hesitantly. Emily began to open up. Jonah was a quiet soul, kind in a way that wasn't flashy. He didn't talk much about himself, but he listened intently whenever she spoke. He remembered the little things she told him, the names of her childhood pets, the color of her bedroom walls back in her old house, her favorite ice cream flavor. Asterisk one rainy afternoon, as they shared a table in the library, Emily asked him why he always came alone. Asterisk I don't really fit in, he said simply. People think I'm weird. Asterisk why? Asterisk he shrugged. Maybe because I like writing, or because I don't care about football, or whatever. Doesn't really matter. Asterisk Emily frowned. That's dumb. You're actually nice and interesting. Asterisk Jonah smiled then, and it was the first time she saw the full warmth of it. Thanks. That means a lot. Asterisk their quiet friendship grew. Every day at lunch, they talked about everything from books to their weirdest dreams. Emily learned that Jonah lived with his older sister, that their parents had passed away in a car accident when he was 12. She told him about her mom's illness, about the job loss, about how much she missed feeling normal. Asterisk Jonah never pitied her. He never offered empty words like it'll get better or stay strong. He just listened. That, more than anything, made her feel seen. Asterisk, but not everyone was happy about their growing bond. Asterisk Katie, the girl with the brightly painted nails, seemed to take special notice. She'd never bothered Emily before, but suddenly she started showing up more often. She laughed loudly when passing by their library table. She'd make comments that were just loud enough to hear, but not direct enough to challenge. Asterisk some. People are just so desperate for attention. Asterisk guess where it finds weird. Asterisk at first. Emily tried to ignore it, but one afternoon, things escalated. Asterisk they were walking down the hall after school when Jonah bumped into someone. It was Logan, one of the more popular boys in school. Tall, confident, and always surrounded by a group of loud friends. Jonah apologized, but Logan sneered. Asterisk watch where you're going. Freak. Asterisk Emily stepped forward. He said sorry. Asterisk Logan raised an eyebrow. Oh, it speaks. Didn't know you'd hired a bodyguard. Jonah. Asterisk Jonah tugged at Emily's sleeve. Let's just go. Asterisk, but Logan blocked their way. Hey, don't walk away. I'm just saying, if you're gonna hang out with losers, you might as well wear a sign. Asterisk Emily's heart pounded. Her hands trembled. But she stood her ground. You don't even know him. Asterisk I know enough. Asterisk and then, just like that, he walked off, laughing with his friends. Emily felt humiliated not for herself, but for Jonah. He didn't say a word as they left the school building. Only when they reached the edge of the sidewalk did he speak. Asterisk you didn't have to defend me. Asterisk I wanted to. Asterisk he looked at her, a flicker of something unreadable in his eyes. You're gonna make things harder for yourself. Asterisk I don't care. Asterisk that night, Emily couldn't sleep. Her thoughts raced. Why did people like Logan think they had the right to make others feel small? And why did no one stand up? Asterisk the next day, she did something she hadn't done before. She brought her sketchbook to school. Asterisk it was filled with drawings, images she'd made over the years to process her emotions. Some were whimsical, some were dark, some were just honest. Asterisk during art class, their teacher asked for volunteers to display their work for feedback. Emily hesitated. Then, slowly, she raised her hand. Asterisk she walked to the front, heart pounding, and placed her sketchbook on the easel. She flipped through the pages, explaining what each one meant to her. Asterisk when she finished, the room was silent. Asterisk then someone clapped. Asterisk it was Jonah. Asterisk then another person joined, and another. Asterisk Katie rolled her eyes. Logan scoffed, but Emily didn't care. For the first time, she felt proud. She hadn't hidden who she was, and somehow, that mattered more than the stares or the whispers. Asterisk over the next few weeks, something began to shift. Other students started talking to her. A girl named Tara invited her to sit at their lunch table. A boy from art class asked if she could help him with a project. Jonah started getting nods in the hallway instead of sneers. Asterisk it wasn't magic. Not everyone changed, but some did. And that was enough. Asterisk one afternoon, as Emily and Jonah sat beneath a tree outside the school, she turned to him. Asterisk do you think things can really get better? Asterisk he looked up at the sky, thoughtful. I think people can get better if someone's brave enough to go first. Asterisk Emily smiled. Then maybe we already have. Asterisk Jonah grinned. Maybe we have. Asterisk weeks turned into months. Emily's mom began recovering, smiling more than she had in a long time. Her dad found part-time work at the town's community center. Emily herself started a small art club at school, where students could come together, share their work, and just be themselves without fear. Asterisk Jonah joined, of course. So did Tara. Even one of Logan's old friends came one day, shy and quiet, asking if anyone would read his poem. Asterisk and Emily, she no longer sat in the back, avoiding eyes. She walked through the halls of Brookville High with her head held high, not because everything was perfect, but because she knew who she was and she wasn't afraid to be her anymore. Asterisk sometimes, kindness doesn't come in grand gestures. Sometimes it starts with a simple word, a quiet friendship, or a hand raised in class. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything. Asterisk thank you for watching Kindness Stories. If this story moved you, inspired you, or reminded you of someone in your life, please share it with them. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another powerful story. Until next time, be kind, you never know whose life you might change. Asterisk.